Hello, I'm doing my sun gazing session. It is going to last about 30 minutes. And while I'm doing this sun gazing session, I would like to speak a little bit about transformational process because I got a suggestion from a good friend of mine, Molly Summers, to speak about this topic a little bit. So that's why I am now combining a pleasant sun gazing session where you simply expose yourself to the beneficial influence of the sun rays if you do it when the sun is not too far away from the horizon, which is approximately 1 hour before sunset or 1 hour after sunrise. In that period, it is perfectly okay to sun gaze, and if you like this practice, you can start by sun gazing in 10 seconds increment every day until you reach the point that you can look at the sun for the time of 45 minutes in one piece. After what period there is no more necessary to look at the sun, because that is the time necessary that all the blood in your system will circulate through your eyes, so every blood cell will get exposed to the beneficial influence of the sun. Hence, your optical nerves will be stimulated, and you can stimulate your pituitary and pineal gland, which will help to decalcify it, and you can be in better charge of your endocrine systems, which is very beneficial if you would like to heal yourself, or if you are spiritually inclined and want to develop yourself and feel other realms beyond the 5D senses. Okay, this is the end of the sun gazing. Okay, maybe just to tell that I have discovered the sun gazing in 2013 from a friend of mine, and it has been now 4th year that I'm doing this practice. Currently I'm sun gazing about 36 minutes, and I found the practice very beneficial for the psychological part of your system and for the health system too. So anybody interested, go ahead. Now let's speak about the I'm Trecena and transformational process you may experience while you are a member of the I'm Trecena. As I said several times, I'm Trecena is a grassroots movement of people who practice art of conscious living. What it means is basically that you learn the skills of how to manage your mind, i.e. your brain, in a conscious way, in a such way that you are able to consciously access subconscious quality of your mind. Once you develop those skills, you can master your processes in your body, and if you continue, you can master the processes which are around your body, which means that you can develop art of telepathic communications with other people, where you can basically subconsciously access their subconscious. And if you do this in a beneficial way, you can increase the amount of synchronicities which are beneficial to you in your everyday life. Okay, so I'm Trecena is basically a hatching ground for a people who have just finished the caterpillar piece of their existence and entering a cocoon stage where you are learning that there is maybe more in this life than just a body. And while in this stage, you are basically dissolving your old belief systems and creating the new ones. And once you master them, you basically develop in a butterfly. You develop your wings, and hence later you can fly. You choose your flower, sip the nectar there, and make love with other butterflies. Enjoy the butterfly life. While being a butterfly, you can speak butterfly language with other butterflies. But when you're speaking with cocoon people or caterpillar people, you need to tone down your expressions so that they can understand you and that you can pass your message across. And this is what I'm now attempting to do. If you join I'm Trecena group and you have some kind of life issues, you can simply overcome those life issues by the mere fact of being a member of the group, being exposed to the teachings in the group, i.e., you basically resonate with the I'm Trecena collective consciousness vibration, and you will change yourself gradually and naturally. Why? Because we teach here how to center yourself in your natural way so that you feel connections with your inner being, with your higher self, and with the nature in general. The easiest way to achieve this state is to re-examine how you use your conscious attention. And the most powerful tool to engage in this process is to examine how you manage your time and who is in charge of your time. Because that who is in charge in your time is that what is mastering you, because time is of the mind. And the most powerful tool to help other people or yourself is actually to educate them about the calendar. Because the calendar is a tool which is en masse directing the people's attention. Current stage in the evolution of human species is there is a one universal commonly agreed calendar, and this is Gregorian calendar, which is now in the use, and which is in the use I think since 16th century or something, when Pope Gregory has modified this calendar and moved it so that alignment of the sun is at the same date every year, which is 31st of December. The nature of this calendar is such that it actually gears your attention towards outside of yourself. By adhering to this calendar, you are inclined to think that time is money, hence time is a resource, and hence you had to trade something for your money, and basically you trade your labor for your money, hence you are in effect a very sophisticated type of a slave. Not a slave like in Roman times, but you basically enslave yourself and you work for your money, so that for a brief period of time you could enjoy something which is not money. So Gregorian calendar is a current calendar which stimulates attention outwards, which in terms of bodily processes and mind processes is actually stimulating your left brain part of your mind, and left brain is entitled for the purpose of survival and logical thinking as the two main things. Logical thinking leads to problem solving, and apart from these two functions, left brain also is in charge of language, and most importantly, the left brain is in charge of habituating your core mind, your subconscious, with the new skills. So, if you look what is happening around you on TV and things, the TV is full of some kind of frightening news, which are lowering your vibration and you are still looking outwards, either to TV, your mobile sets, your phones, and your attention is going outwards in the vibration of fears, and this keeps you locked in your left brain. Hence, you're experiencing the beta wave functions in your brain, and you act in a fear mode or a greed mode. Now, nothing wrong with that. Fear is part of survival, and you need to minimize your fears in order to be safe. And once this is achieved, then you engage in the greed mode, which is basically logical analysis and devising some kind of an action plan to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Once this is finished, then it's very beneficial to switch to the core brain, where you will experience different kind of emotion, which is self-confidence. While in a left brain mode, you will either experience fear or some kind of struggle or negative emotions, in the sense that it's not confidence, not bliss. So it is important to know that although you have these three regions of the brains, left, middle and right, you have four programs. Program being greed, fear running in the left brain, program of self-confidence running in your middle brain, core brain, and program of bliss, which is where your insight, inspirations and intuition is concerned. So you have three regions of the brains, but you have four programs, and designed of a human being is such that only one program can run at one time. So it can be either fear, greed, confidence and bliss, and each of those programs has appropriate place and function in your daily life. Majority of the people are in the influence of Gregorian calendar, hence they are overusing the left brain, where you can experience fear, greed and struggle, and underusing your confidence mode, your middle brain, and underusing your right brain, where you can find feeling of bliss and where your intuition, inspiration and insight are located. So just by being exposed to the I am Trecena, you are exposed to the new knowledge, where you can educate yourself on Gregorian calendar and Mayan calendar. Mayan calendar is a different type of a calendar, where it's constructed in such way that you are harmoniously in tune with nature, being defined as Earth, Moon, Sun, and center of the Milky Way galaxy. So if you engage yourself in studying and using on a daily basis Mayan calendar, you automatically tune yourself to be in the tune with the nature, with the moon and sun, i.e. you are in tune with the Mother Earth, Father Sun and Mother Cosmos via moon. Hence you are in tune with the nature, and you are in tune with your inner being, and it's much easier for you to execute your actions from the core brain, where the feeling of self-confidence is experienced. Hence you can act in a way which is beneficial to you, and you can experience the definition of time, where time is art according to the Mayan calendar, instead of time is money, which is struggle according to Gregorian calendar. Hence you are in position of choice, and you can make a conscious choice if you want to stick to the old Gregorian calendar, left brain functions, time is money, struggle, or you can fully plunge in time is art, or you can choose a middle way, which I'm doing, and combine these two telegrams. Use your Gregorian calendar just for the planning purposes to set dates with other people, and use Mayan calendars for your own inner development, spiritual, mental, or physical. Now, as far as Mayan calendar is concerned, in the group we provide three different types. There is one calendar which is viewing the development of time, and time being defined as information flow in the nature, the structure of how energy flows, it could be viewed either from the continuous point from the center of the galaxy, or i.e. your heart. And this is the continuous view of the Mayan calendar. Or you can view it from the mind perspective, which is discontinued view, where you basically simulate the thought processes in your mind. And the thought processes are to the great extent continuous, but then you have a free will, and all of a sudden one thought is replied and jumps to another place, and you have this jump, this continuous time, which in dream spent calendar is symbolized by the date out of time. So you are basically having a situation that you experience yourself as a digital computer in your left hand brain. You can experience yourself as an analog computer in your core brain, or you can experience yourself as a quantum computer where your imagination is and where everything is possible at the same time. So the architecture of a brain is basically mimicking the architecture of a computer, and there are different types of computers. If you are a technical type, you can have a digital computer, analog computer, and a quantum computer. In digital computer, everything is happening sequentially, once by once, and that's exactly how your logical brain is working, how your words are constructed. Letters make words, words make sentences, sentences make phrases, phrases make paragraphs, paragraphs make pages, pages make chapters, chapters make books. So you have this nested architecture, which is called a fractal organization of informations in the nature. Fractal means something which is self-similar and recursive, i.e. repetitive in nature. So your mind is progressing informations in a fractal wave, and this is how the information flows in the nature, being in the neuron in your cells, or in the organs of your body, or in the movements of the planet outside of your body, or in general how the galaxies are moving in the known cosmos. Everything is a fractal. And all of this is described in the essence of the Mayan calendar, no matter which Mayan calendar you use as your starting point. It is very important to know that Mayan civilizations had 17 known calendars. And there are 3 calendars which are still to be developed, one of them being a Dreamspan calendar, and there are 2 more to come, to complete 20 calendars for 20 solar seals, so that you or we as a human society will have a complete view on a time being how the informations and energy flows and how it's structured in the natures, in the cosmos. So, just by being a member of the Trecena, I am Trecena group, you are engaged in the process of practicing of art of conscious thinking, where you are taught how to use your brain consciously, how to access consciously your subconscious mind qualities. You can achieve this easily just by watching the videos like this, and by studying the calendars on your own, and you can experience what I have experienced. In my case, I was using Gregorian calendar exclusively for 42 years. And that ended with a stressful event in my life when I have experienced bankruptcy, foreclosure of a house, and because I didn't know how to use my brain, I overused my left brain and ended up in the hospital, locked behind the bars. And I get a label, and I was diagnosed with this condition known as a bipolar disorder. And I was living with this next 10 years in my life. And during this 10 years, approximately 5 years, I was following doctor's advice, and I was experiencing one-way dead-end results, where I just took my medications and talked to a psychiatrist, and my situation didn't improve. Nothing in my mind improved, nothing financially improved, nothing emotionally improved. So, being frustrated, I started exploiting other possibilities and I plunged into different spiritual categories like Buddhism, Vedic texts, Christianity, Hinduism, not Hinduism, Judaism, Islam. And then I branched to the quantum mechanics and other scientific explanations. Then I discovered neuroplasticity, where I discovered that your brain is neuroplastic and you can train him. Then I discovered epigenetics, where you can play with your genes, which genes are active or not active, just by using in a constructive way your emotions and your thoughts. I discovered something which is called heart math, where you can govern your heart by placing your attention there. I studied different self-improving things like Napoleon Hills and Abraham, and I listened to different channel informations like Set and Bashar and Cryon and channelings from Pleiadian and Sirius. And I was playing with all these things and I was trying to devise something until I one day discovered a gentleman called Robert Smith, who had this method called faster EFT method, where you basically engage in some form of self-hypnosis and you do something which is called defragmentations, and you switch your attentions between what you deem a problem to what you deem a solution, and you switch between problem solutions, positive emotions, negative emotions, until you basically wash your negative emotions and you end up reprogramming your subconscious mind. Once I discovered that and I experienced that my depressions within 2 months went from 100% depressed to maybe 10% depressed just by watching faster EFT videos on YouTube channel. Then I was engaged in this and I took a seminar with this gentleman in Prague, and I learned this technique and I let him work on me, myself, and then I experienced a live spirituality on my skin first time in my life, and I took that route ever since. Not only spirituality in terms of studying the books, but alive, being around the people who know something more than I do in the areas of the different things which I'm not experiencing. After that, I discovered something which is called neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, where you basically learn how to reconfigure your subconscious mind by a focus attention. That led further to the discovery of what is called the clean language, a method developed by a David Groove, an excellent therapist from Australia, now deceased. And I took a course on this with Mrs. and Miss Thompson in Prague and Brno, and they worked on me, and ever since I fell in love with this tool, because this tool is actually dealing with the structure of the reality, the structure of what you made of, and actually works beyond the thought, beyond the emotion. It actually works beyond the belief, your paradigm and your awareness. And I was hooked, and ever since I am playing with this tool, and I'm combining with this tool with the Mayan calendar, neuro-linguistic programming, faster EFT methodology, and basic common sense. The result is that I have changed and transformed myself from someone who was bankrupt, foreclosed, with mental disease, and with several physical diseases like prostate problem, prostatitis, chronic inflammation of the prostate, loss of erection. losing the sights, not having a sense of orientation, to someone who is perfectly healthy, sane, and financially stable and able to work and function as a normal human being again. And here I am speaking to you about what you can achieve and what you can experience if you engage yourself in I Am Trecena community. There, you can go on your own, in your own pace, just by studying the calendars and learning about different versions of the calendars and exploring how you can raise the level of your conscious by your own. And you can experience what I have experienced. And this is that once I have started using Mayan calendar on a daily basis, my personal development took like a hockey stick. And once I reached 260 days of using the calendar, my life has been completely turned to the better, upside down in every possible directions you can imagine. Long story short, 42 years of caterpillar life, 10 years of cocoon thing, and something like 260 plus, I don't know, 23 or 4 days of using a calendar and being a butterfly, and I have experienced more positive changes in these 260 plus days than in all 52 years combined before. You can do the same thing, experience the same thing, just by studying the materials in I Am Trecena group, and that is mayakin.com, where you can learn the basics of the calendar and experience the calendar from the feminine artistic point of view. All you had to do there is to read once a day the phrase which is there, meditate upon your own kin, date of birth kin, your cosmic signature, which will put you in the center with your inner being and your cosmical archetype, or your oversoul, your higher self. And then you fine tune every day by just meditating intuitively without any thinking about on a daily kin phase. That's the one approach. Second approach is that you engage yourself in a conscious logical thinking and you go to lawoftetime.org. There you have a lot of technical explications about how all this is working. And if you put your energy and time there, you are greatly rewarded because you will have mental understanding how you do this. So you can then magnify this in your daily life and you can benefit by improving your life on a steeper curve, and you can help other people do the same thing. Third thing is drop these two approaches because this is discontinuous approach based for the mind people, being either intellectual or intuitive, and go to the heart-based people and just do the third version of the calendar, which is there, and you will experience continuous flow of time, which is simulating the processes in your heart, because your heart is beating all the time, no discontinuity there whatsoever, just the rate of coherence with your mind is changed. You can experience this there too if you are heart-based people. So you are either heart-based, logical, or intuitive. You choose your calendar, practice it free of charge. In a parallel to your Mayan calendar, Gregorian calendar, and you have to go to spontaneous, natural change of your life. However, if you want to speed up the process and you have whatever issue you deem a problem in your life, being health, being a situation, or being some kind of obstacle in your spiritual evolutions, you can book a clean language transformational session with me where I can work with you on that issue, and we simply convert your problem from the logical brain to your feeling, to your intuitive part, where we develop a symbol and we make a full loop. You basically view yourself in a different light, and when you see yourself in a different light, automatically you change perspective on your problem. Automatically you engage a different belief systems. Automatically you feel differently. Automatically you think differently. out of what different intuitive action stems, and then hence your external circumstancing changes because you're acting, feeling, thinking, believing, viewing, and consciously gazing your attention. So you experience rapid change. In essence, when you take a clean language transformational session with me, you are leveraging 17 years of my personal spiritual growth in a 1 hour and 17 minutes of the time which typically session lasts. So you are feeding for this information and you change yourself, you coach yourself out of your problem. The premise of coaching is that you already have a solutions to whatever you deem to be a problem already existing in you. You do not need anything else but view yourself consciously in a different view, and by that act you're subconsciously accessing intuitive part of your brain where all creations already exist. Hence you change the way you feel and view your problem, hence you act differently in our outer world. This is the essence of the coaching session. For the people who are not in one with only a calendar and a coaching sessions, you can also engage yourself in a mentoring sessions with me where I can explain you certain things and guide you through this process until this new way of thinking becomes a habit, a subconscious habit in your subconscious mind. At that point of time, you are done because you are a butterfly. While in a cocoon, you may be just coaching, where you find your answers because they are already within you. Or if you need some guidance, you can engage yourself in some kind of mentoring arrangements with me. Hence, you can have a calendar on your own, you can have a coaching on your own, you can have some kind of a mentoring with me, or you can have a combinations of coaching, mentoring, and calendar with me. Once you pass through these two phases, then you will have some qualities new develop in you, and when we may partner in things, and then we can invest in some kind of a common activity together. So basically, while engaging in I am Trecena, you experience what Trecena is. And Trecena is I am Trecena, and I'm loving it. I coach, I mentor, I invest. This is what I call Trecena Wheel of Wisdom, where you start from some